I never know how to introduce these type of videos. I don't want to be like, hey guys, oh, welcome to another one of my videos. I don't know, that's been rinsed and recycled a little bit, hasn't it? Welcome to my channel. I feel like there are quite a few new people hanging around here since we last, you know, sat down, had a chat. And I think that even in my last vlog I said, I'm not really doing sit down chatty videos at the minute, but yet here I am. I just felt that I'm now at a place where I want to sit down and have a little reflection over the past year, because I have been tracking my progress, I guess, throughout the year, but not really speaking about it. I've spoken about my struggles, but not my journey per se, and how I have grown and developed as a person from those initial stages just over a year ago. As there are quite a few new people watching, I will sort of give a little bit of a background as to what happened. I have always suffered from mental health issues since I was a child, since I was about 8 years old. I've always been a very anxiety prone person. I had depression, and then I had a lot of eating disorders. Well, I had anorexia. I didn't have any other eating disorders like bulimia or anything, but I had multiple bouts of that until I was about 19. Then when I was about 16, that's when anxiety started to be a real problem. For me, it's been completely ongoing to the point where I became so over anxious and I was living in this bubble of anxiety 24/7. I was in, to be honest, quite a toxic relationship. I was unhappy with where I was at in my life. I had lost a lot of money because I did a PT course and then started a job I couldn't get out of. It's a long story. And then it reached a point last February in 2017 where my body just broke down on me and I became a completely different person. And I will say now with confidence that the person that I was before that breakdown is completely different to the person I am now. I have never felt the same, and at first that was horrible and it was confusing and I couldn't understand why I had changed as a person. But now upon reflection, I wouldn't change it for the world, because I have become who I am today. And that's so cheesy and so cliche to say, you know, I needed to get through those tough times to be who I am today. But honestly, it built me as a person, and I am so proud. I don't say this often. I am so proud of who I am today. I am living with my values and with my ethos. I'm proud of myself. But what happened is I broke down and I just turned into a shell. I couldn't leave the house. It just all happened on one day. I basically thought that I had some sort of illness because I couldn't barely move. I just laid on the couch for like a week. It is like all the energy had been drained from my body. But the problem was I didn't have a fever, I didn't have a cough or a sore throat or a headache, so I couldn't say, okay, maybe it's just a virus, I'll just rest. There was no ill symptoms apart from really heavy fatigue. And the thing about me is that even though I know and I speak that mental health is as much a physical disease as it is a mental disease, I couldn't believe that something in my head was making me so physically ill. I was basically good for nothing. I couldn't even do my uni work because I had no concentration. There was nothing going on in my brain. I couldn't string sentences together. I remember the first time I went to the doctors to see sort of what was going on, just being in that doctor's waiting room was excruciating. What I had to do is have my Nintendo DS, play Mario Kart and have headphones in, so I was so out of the present moment I wouldn't have panic attacks. And even then, when I was sitting there with the doctor, he took my pulse and it was 140 beats a minute when I had just been sitting there. I hadn't done anything, which is just insane to think about it now. It was so scary. It was so scary. I don't even know how to describe it. And I think I blocked a lot of it out of my memory, both so that I don't think about it potentially happening again, and because it was just such a dark time, I completely lost the will to live, to the point where I went to the hospital and I was like, I don't want to live anymore. What do? I don't recognize that version of myself, and it's just so sad that I had to feel that so intensely. I didn't know what to do. I thought I was going to have to drop out of university. Got to the point where I accepted that this was it. This was my life. This was how it was going to be. Now looking back on it is just insane to me. I had accepted death in a way. I had accepted, yeah, that was how my life was going to be, and that it was never going to get better again. I was never going to smile again. I was never going to laugh again. It took a long time to even get 30% functioning. It took months and months. I don't think I ever started to feel like a positive change was happening in my life until I moved to the UK. So what happened is I sort of went through university, I managed to graduate, I got somehow good grades, I left the relationship that I was in and I was just living with my parents. I was pretty unhappy and unfulfilled at the time. I was working as a PT, wasn't really enjoying the job, and life every day was just not great. It just was not great. I was crying every day. I felt no sense of direction, no sense of purpose or meaning. I started seeing a psychologist, and to be honest, she was the only professional that's ever been able to help me with my issues. I say I'm a helpless case and a medical mystery. I've seen countless professionals. I've done so many things and nothing has ever really helped. But she made me see that it really does come from within. And I didn't get cognitive behavioral therapy because I've had that quite a lot. I actually got acceptance and commitment therapy. From what I hear, that's not yet used in the UK, but it is quite prevalent in Australia right now. That is more so accepting your thoughts, accepting your feelings, which sounds like such a simple concept, and it truly is, but for me it was almost revolutionary. I had a big fear of having a bad day, and even to speak about that now is like, really, Amy? I would have so much anxiety in the morning because I thought, what if this happens? Like, you know, the typical what if I have a bad day? What if I have a funny turn or a panic attack? What if I go to uni and I'm cool and I have a panic attack and I'm stuck and I can't get home? It would just do. And so I would speak about this at my psychologist and she would just say, okay, so you have a bad day. Again, it seems like such a simple concept, but for me I was like, okay, all right. Now it's changed everything for me, because now when I'm anxious I can be like, okay, I'm anxious, cool, like let's move on, let's read a book or something. I don't think, well, not 100% of the time, it's still a work in progress of course, but I'm not like, oh my god, I'm anxious, why am I anxious? I really need to analyze this, I need to overthink it, did this happen, did that happen? Because that was my reality. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I still have days where it is like that, and I have filmed those days, so I have physical evidence that those days still happen, and it's important for me to say that, not just say my life is so wonderful. I don't know why I'm like doing a dance, but yeah, it's important for me to say that I'm not magically cured, and I don't just be like, oh, I'm gonna accept my anxiety, I'm gonna accept that my heart is about to burst out of my chest and I feel very awful. No, that's not the reality. But say I'm at work now and I feel anxious, instead of being like, I need to leave, I need to get out, because again, it's a flight or fight thing. I'm very much a flight person. If I feel anxious in a situation, I need to get out as soon as possible. It's not like that anymore. If I feel anxious at work, I'm like, okay, I feel anxious at work. If I need to, I like to sit on my leg when I sit down, which is really weird. If I need to, I've created a supportive environment where I can speak up about my anxiety. This is something that has absolutely been a game changer for me. It's really weird because I would say for me it's a coping mechanism, but it's a healthy coping mechanism. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking right now. It's leaning on something, and every time I put my elbow on the desk, it's shaking. Anyway, it is a coping mechanism, and coping mechanisms can be problematic, but in this sense I actually think it's very helpful. What I've managed to do is make friends with people absolutely everywhere, so if I'm ever in the situation where I'm not okay, I'm safe, if that makes sense. I work with the greatest people. I don't think they're going to be watching this video, but if they are, I love you all. You know, we all just see eye to eye, and like yesterday I was having a little bout of homesickness. I was having a little bit of a cry. I went downstairs, I was like, ooh, having a cry, and straight away the girls came down and they hugged me and they just like gave me so much love. And even like the owner of the business, she is like, God bless, I love her. And she took me out for a walk and we got tea and we just had a chat while I was supposed to be at work, by the way. And it, like, just having that support is so new and so wonderful to me. And then say I go to the gym, I have so many friends in the gym. I've only been training there for like 4 or 5 months, but I walk in, I'm like, hey guys, hey guys. And that's not because I'm some outgoing, enthusiastic person. That's because I have made the effort and taken the time to get to know people, so I feel safe. And maybe that is selfish because a lot of people actually don't know that. They probably just think I'm quite a talkative person. I do that on purpose so that I feel safe. So yeah, if I go to work, I'm safe. If I go to the gym, I'm safe. You know, I've got my childminding job. My kids know about my anxiety. You know, I've sat down and I've had discussions with them. The 9-year-old girl that I look after, I sat down with her one day and I said, you know, it's very good for me to be able to watch you go to your gymnastics lessons or go to your swimming or do some colouring in, because I couldn't do that when I was a little girl. And I said to her that I get this anxiety. It was such a heartfelt moment because she ended up opening up to me about how she feels. Her parents were divorced when she was quite young, I think, like about 5 years ago. And she opened up to me, you know, she's only just turned 9, and she spoke to me about how she feels. And that was incredible. All because I had said, you know, I have some issues. And then I found out that the mum I worked for has also had issues, and you end up finding out a lot about people. But anyway, you create this safety net that if something were to ever go wrong for me right now, I have so much support. And I've never had that. And I get emotional thinking about it because this is exactly why I did this. A lot of people were dubious when I moved away from Australia. So I moved, hopefully you've seen my videos if you're a new subscriber, hopefully you had a little binge watch. I moved to England on the 28th of November, so that was just over 5 months ago. 2 weeks after I finished university actually. And I was set on a dream. I had wanted to move to England since I was a child, and for some of you, especially if you live in the UK, this is going to be completely bizarre because you're like, why would you want to move here? As I look out the window, it is a grey, horrible, dreary, rainy day, and it is what, the 2nd of May today? It's already a month and a half into spring, and it's freezing cold. It's like 7 degrees. But for me, it's not about the weather. You know, weather is such a non-entity. Like, I just didn't even think about it. I have felt very drawn to this country since I was a child. Like I said, you know, I did go through those mental issues. But whenever I was here, I felt calm and I felt at home and safe and happy. And everyone's like, oh yeah, but that's because you were on holiday. I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is my vibe. This is my place. I remember like the second I got here, the second I started traveling here, I was like, this is gonna change my life, and this is what I can't believe I'm getting emotional about this. You guys are used to me crying on this channel by now, but this is what I have waited 22 years for. This is what it was all for, you know? This is what the eating disorders were for. This is what the anxiety was for. This is what the agoraphobia and the bad relationship and all of it, it was for this moment. I'm so grateful because this has opened up my world, you know. So anyway, end of November, I moved to England. I'm in Brighton currently, in Hove. I was able to start again, and like I said, you know, a minute ago, people said you can't run away from your problems, and I wasn't running away from my problems. I was creating a new self-identity, and I think that that's okay. It's not like I dyed my hair or I changed my name. I could be me. I wasn't Amy with the boyfriend, or I wasn't Amy, these people's daughter. I wasn't the personal trainer. I came from a small town, so everybody knew me. I had a reputation, not a bad reputation, but people knew of me. I was always the weird one, whereas over here, I feel like I fit in. And the brilliant thing that I love about Brighton is that Brighton accepts everybody. Literally, I saw someone walking down the street the other day in a unicorn onesie, and if you did that in Adelaide, everyone would be like, that is not okay, gossip, gossip. Everyone was like, And even in my head, I'm like, yeah, you rock that unicorn onesie. It's just so different. And now that I've been able to speak about my illnesses so openly, whether it be on my Instagram, on my YouTube channel, or even when I speak to people in person, it's so different from what it used to be. I used to get judged, and I used to be like people were a little bit wary of me, whereas over here people were like, that's really cool that you're speaking about that. And I'm really grateful for that. I just clicked into life here. I've spoken about it before, how everything just sort of fell into place, where I was staying in the Airbnb, and then how I got my car, how I got the flat that I'm currently in, how I got the jobs that I got. Everything just was like bum 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 and slot into place really, really well. And that's not me being like hashtag privileged, hashtag blessed. That's me thinking, okay, this is happening for a reason. This was supposed to happen. And you can believe what you want, but for me, I do believe that everything happens for a reason, whether good or bad. And you know what? A lot of people don't sit by that logic because they think, yeah, but then why did this happen? Or why did my mom die from cancer? Or all of that, you know, that's a bit morbid. Straight away, you know, we're not gonna know why these things happened. It took me a long time to know why I had to go through the complete life breakdown I did. It took me a year to work out why that had to happen. And even little things like I was supposed to go to Melbourne University in 2013. 2 weeks before I was set to go, I was ready to go, I got rejected. And I was like, oh, and it like blew my mind. But you know what, that happened for a reason. I understand the reason now, and I get that, and I can move on from that. Anyway, that was a weird ramble. I'm in a stage now where I'm like proud of the person I am, and that's so weird because I don't have like the one thing I struggle with, and it's I speak about it a little bit like on Instagram and things, but not a heap, is that I have pretty big self-esteem issues. Basically, I never feel good enough ever. A lot of this is due to, you know, my lifestyle and how I was when I was younger, and then the relationship that I was in. I feel like I will never be good enough. I will never be successful. I am just not worthy. Not worthy of love, not worthy of friendship. Even when I'm in the gym, I'm not comparing myself to others, but if I don't lift the weight I want to lift, for example, instead of being like, okay, you know, I'm tired, or I'll hit it next week, I'm like, no, that's not good enough, why didn't I do that? And I would dissect it and then be really, really upset about it, and it might affect the rest of my day, which I know is not a good thing. And it's something that I'm drastically trying to work on, especially because I'm getting to the age now, guys. I'm gonna be 23 in a month. I'd like to, you know, start seeing some guys and go on a few dates, but this self-esteem issue is definitely a big roadblock because no one, you know, confidence is sexy, confidence is a really good thing, and a lot of people are attracted to confident people, and I want to be that confident person. It's just something that I really need to work on. So that's what's upcoming for me. You know, I have gotten over the anxiety hurdle. I've gotten over a lot of hurdles, but my self-esteem is something that I need to work on, and the fact that I push myself to the nth degree when I don't necessarily need to. This is something that everybody knows about me. I will work and work and work, and not necessarily work as in like work, as in I will go until my body's like, I can't do this anymore. Like yesterday at work, when after I had that crying attack, I got home and I was supposed to go to the gym and everything was normal, and I just thought, I just can't. And I had to lay in my bed for like hours. And for most 22-year-olds, that's not really anything bizarre, but for me, that is bizarre. So I need to know when to stop before my body is like, you gotta stop. Because otherwise I just end up doing myself an injustice. My hormones are already all over the place. I don't speak about this a lot on my channel, but I may as well put it in here because it is part of my journey. I only started to get proper periods last year when I was 21/22. They would be like, I would have 2 and then it would stop. I'm like, great. All right, I would have 3. And then I managed to get to a stage where I had 4 in a row. I had 3 of them over here. I'm like, yes, life is good. My hormones are happy, because obviously it's a major sign that our body is in a good place. I don't necessarily want children in the future, but periods are a very healthy thing, and so it's important to have them. But now it's been about 2 or 3 months since I've had one, and that is an issue, and for me it's very much stress related. I know it is, so I need to get my stress levels down so that can happen again. So that's going to be a big focus for me. I feel like this video hasn't really had like a set agenda, because I was going to speak about, you know, my journey 1 year on, and that is sort of how it has turned out. But I feel like more so it's been a bit of a word vomit. I haven't had time to sit down and speak about this for a long time. You know, like I said, I'm very busy. I work 40+ hours a week. Today is the first weekday I've had completely off in a long time. It's a rarity these days. Obviously, like, I've got my kids during the week, and then I also work at the cafe 5 days a week, and then all of that. But I haven't got the kids this week, so I do have a little bit more time. However, I'm definitely going to make filming videos a priority, because I absolutely love doing them. Not only for my own personal perspective, I love the whole process of editing. I love being able to communicate with you, and also in a sense when I'm doing my childminding job, you know, I'm Amy the childminder, or like I'm making the food and washing the dishes and playing with the kids. When I'm at work, I'm Amy that works at the cafe. When I'm in the gym, I get to be Amy the Wheeze Fit, which is cool. But when I'm doing YouTube, when I'm doing Instagram, I get to delve into that other side of me, the passionate side of me, the part of me that gets to speak about things that I enjoy. And sometimes when I'm removed from that, that can cause a little bit of disconnect, and I don't like that. So it is important for me to keep up these videos, whether they be stupid videos or I'd like to do some sort of clothes haul. Is a perfect excuse to buy a lot of clothes. I'm definitely going to be upkeeping these videos. Again, it is a self-esteem thing for me. I see my videos, I'm like, well, I'm not getting as many views as her, or this is just pointless, this is a waste of time, nobody wants to watch you, so then I won't film them. But this is going to be one of the ways I'm going to get over this damn self-esteem issue. I'm just going to post them. Who cares what people think? Who cares if it gets 2 views? Two people viewed your video. That's awesome. I'm going to end this here because my thing literally says 22 minutes and that's a long time. I don't want to bore you guys with it all because I realized my last vlog was like nearly half an hour. This is why I need to make more consistent videos so my videos don't end up being excruciatingly long. But I hope you managed to get something out of this video. I hope you ate a nice snack or drank some tea or coffee while you were watching this. Please connect with me, guys. Message me on Instagram, comment down below, shoot me an email. I love speaking to you all. That's honestly the best part. I've been able to make so many cool friends from this and I love it. If you have any more video ideas, I'd love to do a Q&A. I'd love to do like a fitness one, then a food one and a life one. So if you think that's a good idea, let me know because I don't want to film it, or I don't want to like say let's do it and then no one asks me questions because that'd be really awkward. And again, self-esteem issue, guys. But I'm gonna leave this video here. I'm gonna head to the gym and have a light workout because I'm feeling so sore, but I want to get those endorphins flowing. Just don't really want to go out in the rain, but that's okay. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching if you got to the end. I really appreciate it.